Hi! I was scrolling through TikTok when I saw a concrete Minecraft diamond ore. I love to challenge myself at making things I haven't even thought about, and since I've been playing Minecraft since 2010, I wouldn't mind some decorative piece on my shelf. I also thought it looked like a cool project that seemed just easy enough for me and my very poor Blender skills. So I used a random reference image I found online and I designed a mold. And honestly, it wasn't that hard. Just some subdivision and well, maybe 6 hours of my life. But hey, who counts once we're having fun? Certainly not me. I know, I should have made a silicone mold. I wouldn't have had all the difficulty I had later on if I did. But it's the first time I try something like that. The mold is ready, now it is time to make some concrete. I'm not sure I'm using the right kind, but I asked my engineer friend, who is a major in concrete, yep, in motherfucking concrete. And he basically ranted about how houses were built with bad concrete. So after some hours, I learned that I would be just fine using the cheapest one I could find at any store. Not that I'm cheap, but since an academic recommendation had been made, I bought the cheapest I could find. I took my finest bold and stick, mixed 800 grams of concrete with 180 millimeters of water, and I ended up with some pretty good concrete. I tried to make a liquid consistency to simplify my work. I also learned that bubbles would be easier to remove with a liquid mix. At the same time, I also didn't want to have a mix too liquid. I don't want anything in the geometric form, or I wouldn't have any place to put the diamond ore. So I carefully pour my concrete. If you watched my previous attempt, you can see that my mold is a bit bigger. I raised the sides since my previous attempt all cracked into 10,000 pieces. The shaking between each pour also helped bubbles to escape, so now I will finish it. Now that the mold is full, I'm shaking it so that as many air bubbles as possible escape the concrete, since when you pour it, there is some air that's trapped in the mix. Here we have the dried result after a week. At first glance, I think it's a success, but my other attempts also looked like that before I broke the mold. Now, I'm a simple man. For the mold, I found out that heat was the best thing to get rid of the plastic. But before that, I realized that using paper towel was not a good idea. So after some technical difficulty, I'm using a button kitchen torch to lift the mold up and remove the peel up piece by piece. We can see that as soon as it's hot, it's really easy to lift up. The diamond ore parts are the hardest to remove since they go all the way up. It took me some time, I would say maybe an hour. Please consider if you ever do something like this that you need to be in a well ventilated room and wear a mask, since plastic fumes are toxic. So, after some time, I'm close to the finished result. We can see that there are some cracks, but it didn't break. Now we simply have to add the diamond ore. For this, I had blue translucent PETG printed on my texture bed in my X1C. Now that everything is assembled, let's add some light for fun, and I definitely think that I should add a LED strip later. What do you think? Like and subscribe for more. Okay, bye!